like I'm gonna throw up. I don't know if this video is gonna see the light of day. I literally just spent an hour and a half on Instagram Live putting on makeup and talking to people. So in my last update, hi, I'm Misty. This is gonna be, hopefully I don't cry because I put on this full face of makeup, but this is gonna be a little bit of an update, more mentally and emotionally how I'm doing rather than physically, weight, etc. Trigger warnings, I am going to be talking about disordered eating, self-harm, suicidal thoughts. I think that's really it that I feel like needs a trigger warning. So if you're not mentally in a place to watch this, please don't. Yeah. Okay. So I think it's only been a week since I posted that video. It's been 5 days. So in my last video, I mentioned that has it been only 5 days? I was intermittent fasting. No, I wasn't. That's a lie. Gosh, my brain. Yeah, it's only been 5 days. Holy shit on a cracker. Okay, so 5 days ago, I posted, was that like Friday? That was Friday. Okay, so last Thursday I filmed the update video and I think I posted it on Friday. I don't know. But in that video I talked about how I had been alternate day fasting, 2 and 1, 2 days of fasting, 1 day of eating, and that I had lost weight and I was down to 366. So I filmed that on Thursday and I think I posted it on Friday. Well, Friday evening I had a binge. It was my first binge since either December or early January. I honestly don't remember. It's been a while. I'd actually gotten that part under control. But I think it was a fasting day and Rob's like, hey, I think I'm gonna run to Golden Chick and get some of their rotisserie chicken, whatever chicken they have. And I was like, why don't we just get chicken strips? So we got chicken strips and we got mashed potatoes and gravy, came with rolls, and I ate and 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 ate. And it took me a while to realize what was going on. So if you're new here, hi, what a video to stumble upon. I lost my dad back in November. He died in a freak accident. He was working under his car and the jack slipped and he died instantly. He was in Indiana. I'm in Dallas. There was no funeral. Really no closure. And he and we hadn't talked in a while. And so I just started like, I could feel that I was feeling, like I knew I was feeling emotional. Like I felt emotional, but I couldn't figure out why I felt emotional. And like I said, I binged. I hadn't done that in forever. And I was just like, what the fuck is going on with me? And then Sunday I realized it was Father's Day. And it hit me way worse than I thought it would. And I think it hit me more for my sister who grew up with him, who was local to him, who saw him all the time, who has pictures of him, you know, her sleeping on him when she was an infant. There are no pictures of me with him until we met when I was 20. So, oh my God, I'm gonna cry. I should not have put on makeup. I was like, I shouldn't put on makeup, but I'm gonna put on makeup. Anyway, and it just hit me. It just hit me that, you know, she no longer gets to celebrate Father's Day with him. She no longer has him. And it's hard. It's hard more on her so than me because he and I hadn't been close. It was really out of sight, out of mind. It was like a was dealing with abandonment issues for the second time. He didn't abandon me, by the way. He didn't know about me until I was like in my 20s. So it hit me way harder than I had no idea it was going to bother me so much. None whatsoever. But I'd also gotten a comment on that video that really triggered me. Let me find it. And I am sharing this comment in no way says that this person is a bad person, anything like that. It just triggered me. And I mean, I've always been cognizant of, how things can trigger other people, but I don't know that I've ever felt as triggered by something as I did with this comment. So it was and I'll post I'll post a screenshot of the comment, but it was like, can you please do a video on how you and your hubby make it work with your health and pain you deal with daily, intimacy issues, financially, just daily living. Talked about her husband has back problems and it feels like he's always complaining and that they have to plan around him. But it causes issues in the marriage. And I'm not going to go into great detail about our marriage because that's private. But it hasn't been easy. It hasn't been easy. And we almost haven't made it. And I almost hadn't made it. The worst was in June of 2019. Those of you who've been with me for a while know that's when I went in the hospital for the first time for my lower back. And I went in the hospital because I couldn't walk. Couldn't feel my right leg. Couldn't walk. Was in a wheelchair. Couldn't get around at all. And they sent me home and was like, we'll do physical therapy. And I remember sitting on the couch and no one had called. No one had checked up on me. No one had called. No one. And I can remember sitting on the couch going, why am I doing this? Like, what? Why am I doing this? Why am I here? Nobody cares. Like, nobody cares. It's like, my existence it doesn't affect anybody. Like, that's literally what I was thinking. I was sitting there and just planning if I thought that I should just go. I feel that this comment really triggered me because you don't know what it's like to lose your mobility, to have to lose your job or have to leave your job, or maybe you lose your job because you miss too many days of work, but it is, not only is it a total mind fuck, but it's a grieving process. And it's not just a grieving, why does it feel like it's so dark in here? It's not just a grieving process for me, but it's also a grieving process for Rob. Because not only am I grieving the life we were living and the life I thought we lived, but he is too. And the nature of my disability and my illnesses, he's had to take on more of a caretaker role. And with this last year, with COVID, he did everything he could to keep me safe. He was the one that was doing all the grocery shopping. He's the one that's been taking care of everything while also trying to work full time. And it's hard. It's really, really hard. And so I can really understand both sides of this comment. Like, I can understand both sides. But I can remember sitting at the kitchen table, and this was before I had a diagnosis. This was before we knew what the fuck was going on. And I can just remember sitting at the kitchen table and just telling Rob that he should leave me. He should go, he should divorce me. I was worthless, I couldn't do anything. And you feel absolutely worthless. I feel like an inconvenience. And it's hard. It's hard. And what feels like an inconvenience for you is a lifetime of pain for him. If he hasn't already, I would encourage him to seek out a pain management specialist. They are able to do other things for his back other than just medication. And I don't know his problems. I don't know what happened. And maybe he is seeing someone for pain management. But I think if he's in that much pain, then that's probably a good idea. If you can afford it, I would say therapy as well for you as a couple, but also you individually, for him especially. There's a really great article, and I'll try to remember to link it down below. If I forget, someone remind me, about how we need to consider chronic illnesses and pain when we consider suicide prevention. And because it's hard. Like, I don't know how else to describe it. I mean, I just can't. I can't do. And I can't make my body do what it can't do. And it's hard. And I was talking on Instagram Live today about how sometimes I don't even want to post on this channel because I get new people who find me and they feel like the answer to my prayers would be weight loss surgery. Or, if I just lost weight. And it's like, oh, I didn't even think about that. My word. So I went to my doctor today, and he's like, I told him, I said, it's been a rough few months. And he's like, okay, where do you want to start? And I said, let's start with my medication. I said, I'm no longer taking the Nebrol, and I'm no longer taking the azathioprine. I'm on the infusion. And I told him about my blood sugars being so high. I said, even if I have a coffee with one stevia packet, my blood sugar goes up 80, 90 points. I said, when I was eating just broccoli salad, I was literally eating broccoli, cauliflower, ham, and olives. And my blood sugar would go up 80, 90 points. I said, there has to be something else going on. There has to be something else going on. So he's like, Missy, you're going to have to go on something. He's like, you cannot keep doing this. He said, especially now that you're on a steroid every 8 weeks. He's like, you're going to have to do something. And it's the most defeating feeling ever. Because once again, here's a medication that I'm on that's causing issues with every other thing that's going on. And it's hard. I mean, you feel inconvenienced, and he feels pain and will feel pain for the rest of his life. So, while I can empathize with you, I also feel for him because I know exactly what it's like. And like I said, I would suggest that you guys see a therapist if you can, and I would really sit down and decide if you can love him when he's broken, and if you can stay around and love him while he's broken. So I've had so much anxiety today, and I don't know why. That's not helping either. I'm 43. I'm 43 and I'm disabled, and things are only going to get worse. So no, I'm not going to film a video about that. That's all I'm comfortable talking about. But I do suggest that, pain management if he hasn't already seen somebody, therapy, if you guys can afford it. And as far as the money thing, if he qualifies for disability. I mean, I didn't think I would, and I got it right away. So I would try that. But other than that, I mean, there was a month where I didn't think we were going to be able to pay our mortgage. And I can remember the day I found out that I was getting Social Security. I was like, holy, I almost fainted. Like, I literally almost fainted. So I would reach out to churches, you know, if you have a local church or something, and see if you can get help with your bills. I mean, I honestly don't know what else to tell you. I mean, I ended up cashing in my retirement so we could pay off like some big bills that would save us hundreds of dollars a month, because we were just barely scraping by. I mean, I went from making $5,500 a month to like $1,000 a month. And for a while there, let's see, I left my job in September and I didn't start getting disability until like April. So we were hurting. We were hurting real bad. So, and I'm sorry that you're going through it. I wouldn't wish this life on my worst enemy. But, yeah, I don't know what else to tell you. So as for me, I told my doctor, I was like, I'm no longer taking those. And I said, my A1C is going to be at least 10. I said, if it's not higher than 10, it'll be a miracle. I said, but it's going to be at least 10. And he said, you're going to have to go on something to see. He's like, you just can't. I was like, but I want to be diet controlled. I was like, I don't want to go back on insulin. And I said, I've tried every other class of drug. He said, but you haven't tried every drug, every class. So he's going to run some medications by insurance and see what they will approve. I told him I didn't want to start anything yet because I see this new endocrinologist July 23rd, so about a month from now. And I want to see her first and see what she has to say. So he would like to put me on Ozempic. So Ozempic is in the same class as Trulicity and Victoza. Unfortunately, Victoza caused thyroid nodules. So, I mean, at this point, I mean, we're talking about medicine. Some of them have way more side effects than they have, you know, they help. So, but the infusion is helping, and I can't go back to where I was before the infusion, because that was some of the worst pain I've ever been in my life. And I try not to complain. I try to, you know, just, if I have a day where I can't do something, I'm not doing anything today. I'm taking the day off. Not that I work, but, you know, trying to film for my other channels and just trying to have some sense of routine and normalcy, because it's hard. It's really, really hard. So yeah, this was a bunch of word vomit, just like my Instagram live. But I should have my blood work in probably 2 or 3 days. Well, this is Wednesday, probably Friday, maybe Monday. So once I have that, I'll let you know. I told him I didn't want to start anything until I see my endocrinologist, and that is mid-July, or July 23rd. That week of July is going to be busy. Monday, I get an infusion. Wednesday, I see the endocrinologist. Friday, I see the pain management doctor. She wants me to decide if I want another facet block and where I want it first. Do I want it in my neck or do I want it in my lower back? So, and then I see my neurologist not long over that, so we can decide on if I'm going to start IVIG or not. And that's what I asked him. I was like, do you think the IVIG is going to bother the blood sugar? He said, if you're having issues with broccoli and cauliflower, he said, I don't know. He's like, I'm going to guess that you're going to have issues with the IVIG. And I said, great. And I talked to him about how I took the insulin, and the insulin did absolutely nothing. He's like, well, how much were you taking? I said 150 units. And he's like, well, you're up 15 pounds. I was like, but I'm down 20. I was like, like, I'm down 20 from the first of the month. I'm like, I gained so much weight back. And the biggest issue for me is I haven't been in a good headspace to fast. Like every time I've tried to fast like the last 5 days, I just can't. I just can't. And it's not like I'm like starving or anything like that. It's just, it's mental for me. It's just like, I don't want to. I don't want to. I haven't had the urge to binge again. Like that was a one and done. And I was really disappointed in myself, but at the same time, I can understand why it happened. And now I know, to just don't. Like I need to do something else rather than doing that. And so it helps that Rob is fasting. He's fasting Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays because he's trying to get back into some pants that he can't wear anymore. And so that helps. I don't know if I'm going to continue doing the 2-in-1, if I'm going to go back to 1 meal a day, if I'm going to do like just have a bulletproof coffee every day and do that for a while. I honestly don't know. But I've mentioned that if seems like fasting long term is easier than alternative day fasting. I feel hungrier when I'm doing this alternative day fasting. So I got a new chair. So yeah, that's where my brain's at. If you are someone who recently, was diagnosed with a chronic illness, or you're living with chronic pain and you're having, thoughts, reach out, call a suicide hotline, reach out to a family member or a friend. Just reach out to someone and get some help. There's no shame in it. There's no shame in having those feelings. There's no shame in seeking help. Yeah, I just encourage you to talk to someone. And if you can afford it, try therapy, whatever you need to do for you. I really encourage you to do that. So that is it for today. I appreciate you guys so much. This was an emotional one. This was a hard one, but this is really what's been weighing on my mind for the last few days. And I think this comment compounded with, the loss of my dad and it being Father's Day, and I'm just emotional. I've had anxiety. It's been stressful. I've just had a rough 5 days. But yeah, thank you so much. I love you guys. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.